As for Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes has broken the assist record. I mean, it took him a couple of goes. It took a little VAR check to make sure of that. He's just been... Well, he's been important for Manchester United for so long, but this season seems to have kind of grown into his role as guiding the younger players as well. Yeah,
for me, he's the player of the season. I know sometimes that normally comes from the team who win the league, but I think he's so influential with the younger players, with the older players. His drive, his goals, his assists, everything about his game deserves to win player of the season for me.
Michael Carrick will now be the Manchester United manager next year. We know he's signed that contract. Is the big challenge going to be managing the number of games that Manchester United are going to have now? Because what they've benefited from this season is having played the fewest minutes of any other side in the Premier League because they went out of both cup competitions in the first round. Yeah, and that's what you want. You want to be in these big competitions and be playing more games. And I think what people don't realise as well is he done that in the Championship with Middlesbrough. I know it's a different level, but it's the same when you've got this many games. Your preparation, your planning of your training sessions, he's used to doing that. So do you need players in? Of course you do, to compete in these big competitions again. So I'm sure that work is already underway.
He deserved that contract. I think he was brought in to do a specific job, and he's certainly done that. And he deserves the chance to go again, to build again in the summer, and it'll be a bigger test for them next year. But I'm pleased that he's got the chance to do that. And you went to interview him this week. What can you tell Manchester United fans about what they can expect next season?
I think it's not going to be overcomplicated, and Michael he knows the game really well. He's tactically, he makes little adjustments when he needs to, but Manchester United, and you talk about how Manchester United play and how they want to play, it's not rocket science. He's get the ball forward, get it wide, crossing the box, and he knows that, he understands what the fans want to see, and he's done a brilliant job since he's been in it.
Do you think they need to make changes? They're going to lose Casemiro in midfield. There are positions that need to be filled over the summer.
They'll have to spend the right few quid in terms of recruitment, because they'll want to kick on again, and it's a bigger test for them, as we said, in the number of games. But that's going to cost a lot of money to do that.
When he talked about the noise and talked about doubting himself at times this season, but they've managed to do it. They've managed to get their hands on the Premier League trophy. There has been a lot of noise, and there's been criticism about their style of play. What kind of champions do you think they are?
Champions are champions, and I have actually really liked how they've played this season. And yeah, you can look at it, and everyone now wants to play the way Pep Guardiola plays, his team play. But he's tried that. He's tried that for the last 3 years, and he hasn't won the league. And he's changed the recruitment. They've gone more bigger team, more physical team, and they don't concede goals. They're solid. They've got players scoring goals from all over the pitch, and they fully deserve to win the Premier League.
And look at the importance of this Arsenal defence. It's not only the best in the Premier League, which would be expected maybe of the champions. It's the best across Europe's top 5 leagues.
I mean, those numbers are staggering. Shots on target for an average 2.4. That's all. I mean, when you look at the job that Mikel has done, and he mentioned the noise and doubting himself, but I think he deserves great credit for sticking with it. And we've spoken 15 or 20 minutes ago about the recruitment, how it hasn't worked for other teams. I think the recruitment for them, in terms of how they wanted to play this season, has been absolutely spot on. And every decision they made last summer in bringing players in, Eze, Madueke, Hincapié, Gyökeres, Mosquera, Zubamendi, Norgard, all of these players have played, and it's worked for them. And I also think it's telling that after that Man City result, that's when he would have been seriously doubting himself. But then for the reaction after that, because the stress and the pressure that they've been through for all season, and the noise they've had to put up with to get over that and to come back from that. Because they've got a choice after that defeat at Manchester City. Which way do they go? Do they buckle? Do they fold? Or do they roll their sleeves up and say, right, we have to do something special in between now and the end of the season? And they did that. And for that, they've been the best team, and I think they deserve huge credit for that.
And maybe at the time we put too much emphasis on that Manchester City result, because actually Arsenal's result against what you might think of as their direct competitors for the title haven't been great this season. If you look at the top five against each other, Manchester United and Villa, the teams that have actually done best. City are much better than Arsenal, and only Liverpool are lower than them. But they haven't been the games where this title has been won. It's been the games where it's against teams who are in the bottom half of the table, Wayne.
Yeah, they've been more consistent in facing the teams in the lower half of the table, but I think consistency. I think the Premier League this year hasn't been as good as it has been in previous years, and that's not taking anything away from Arsenal. They fully deserve to win, but they've been the best. They've been the most consistent team, and when you're consistent, you normally win the league.
Word on Crystal Palace as well, because this is Oliver Glasner's last ever season at Crystal Palace, and they're going to end it with a Europa Conference League final.
Giving them great memories. The FA Cup, the Community Shield, and they've got a chance again to win the Conference League on Wednesday. So what a couple of years it's been for them. It's been unbelievable. He's played a huge part in that.
I spoke to Mikel Arteta. Mikel, congratulations. Finally, you get that moment. You get your hands on the Premier League trophy, you give it a spin, and you raise it in front of the Arsenal fans.
It's been an incredible moment. As we all know, it's been a special journey. We had to really fight for it. But I think the team, the club, and our supporters fully deserve it.
Tell me about this team, tell me about this squad, because I saw them giving you the bumps. There's clearly a great relationship there. How much have they given you this season?
Everything. I mean, I think it's going to be very difficult to have again a group like this one. And they really make me enjoy my profession every single day. When you see the connection they have with our staff, with our people, it's because how good they are as human beings, first of all. And then they have shown an incredible, I think, connection with everybody, an unbelievable level of commitment when things were difficult, and a lot of courage as well, because with all the noise and all the expectation that we had around us right from the beginning after 3 years, which is very understandable, I think we have used us as a guide to lead us to the moment that we are right now and win the Premier League.
When you talk about the noise, you've been as consistent as Manchester City in terms of points over 4 seasons, and this is the season in which you get to lift the trophy. At that point where you had a spell where you were beaten by City, where people were starting to doubt you, did the fact that you got over that hurdle, did that answer those critics, do you think?
I think those critics are unnecessary, and I doubted myself as well. I think you have to be very self-critical, and at some point I thought maybe I had the talent, the ability, the capacity to bring them all the way to where we are right now as a club and as a team. But maybe somebody else has to come and finish the job. And that's normal. But we find a way to do it. I think we fully deserve it because, again, in the manner that we've done it. And I'm obviously extremely happy for the club, the staff, and especially for the incredible players that we have.
And Mikel, this season could get even better. There's a Champions League final to come.
And that's a new opportunity to write a new story in our history. And let's enjoy tonight, have some time with the family, that they've been the engine of everything that we do. And tomorrow we start to prepare the final to win it.
Special moment. Yeah. These fans are so special, man. It's a long season. You go through so much along the way. So to reach the end of the marathon and be the winners, it's a special type of feeling. So yeah, we'll enjoy this for sure.
2 years and 2 months ago, I arrived. I think you didn't know me really. You know, I came from abroad. I came as a stranger, and now after 2 years, I feel like I'm a South Londoner. So thank you very much for this.
It was a big party from the first minute until the final whistle, and even the game sometimes was not the best game. But yeah, were great 2 years, and for me, the best day is still to come.
What about Mikel Arteta as your manager? How much does he deserve to be able to share this moment with you all?
Yeah, he deserves everything. He's done a brilliant job, and he's been here a long time now, and for sure he deserves everything.
He's helped shape the culture of this whole club, really. The way we think, the way we operate. And yeah, massive credit to him because he's worked so hard, and I'm just grateful that we were able to do it for him.
And after the match, I spoke to Mikel Arteta. Mikel, congratulations. Finally, you get that moment. You get to Liverpool very shortly, but we have to start with the exit of Mohamed Salah. Obviously, he's an all-time Premier League great. Yeah. But in fact, in terms of goal contributions, there's only 2 players who are better than him. And it's you two. We've got them both in the studio. So you've got 323, Wayne, you've got 311, and Mohamed Salah, well, good, but not that great.
What a player he's been for Liverpool. You're absolutely right. Premier League and Liverpool, giant in what he's done. The number of goals, his numbers are amazing. So many important goals, and played a massive part in Liverpool's success. He's been brilliant for the Premier League.
And when he came in, there wasn't a huge amount of expectation on him, Wayne. He felt that he had to deliver maybe on the time that he had at Chelsea, where he felt he underperformed. There is an argument that he's more than done that. Yeah,
he'll go down as one of the Premier League greats, and he was a joy to watch. And I played against him a few times, and just how he controlled the ball and his speed and cutting inside. Everyone knew what he was going to do, cutting inside, put it into the far corner. But no, I think he'd be absolute great in this Premier League.
Yeah.
Andy Robertson is another player who got a rapturous send-off from the home crowd. A different type of player, but one who the fans have really warmed to, because he almost plays like a fan on the pitch.
I think pound for pound, he's one of the best that the Premier League has seen in terms of what Liverpool signed him for, £8 million, for what he's given Liverpool, for how he's played, and everything about him in terms of being the ultimate professional has just been first class. And as I said, I go back to what they paid for him. It's an incredible value for money.
When you look at his output, Wayne, it feels as though he's the kind of player who, in terms of the way he plays, the way he celebrates, the way he acts around his teammates, he just gets every ounce of ability and contribution out of himself.
He does, and I think when you look at Liverpool and you had Andy Robertson and Trent on either side, they were an absolute nightmare to play against in the deliveries. But I think for Andy Robertson, when Jordan Henderson was captain and Liverpool was successful, I think Robertson, James Milner, they were a massive part of them off the pitch as well.
Andy Robertson and Mohamed Salah leaving the club. There is talk of Alisson potentially going to Juventus. We don't know what's happening with that one. A lot of those senior players have now left the club.